Renovating Retirement with Charlie Jewett. Oh no, I think I'm about to have another episode.
Hey guys, what happened to Charlie? Where'd he go? Man, he's like recording, just putting shows out all the time. And in July, I think it was, just disappeared. Do you think he's okay? Do you think he retired and just left us all just hanging? Wait, do you think the Joker brokers had him killed?
This industry needs an enema. Well, it seems the rumors of my death have been greatly exaggerated. No, I'm not dead. And I did get a question from a dear friend who said, did you retire from podcasting? I said, no, I didn't retire from podcasting. I have had quite a summer, so I apologize for the break, but, you know, there's 166, maybe 166 other episodes for you guys to binge on, and actually does look like, when I look at my numbers, it does look like not putting out new episodes caused people to sort of dig back into the older episodes that maybe they had not listened to before, or maybe go listen to them again. And considering the fact that you probably only remember about 20% of what you hear the first time, I think it might be a good idea to listen to every episode 5 times. I'm convincing my audience to be junkies, to be crack addicts on not crack, but renovating retirement, and that's what I want, and that's pretty cool. And why do I want that? Because I'm a selfish pig? No, I want that because it's what's best for you. So, oh my goodness, folks. Life is interesting. Between a 3-year divorce that I can't get to stop no matter what I try, moving from our 5-bedroom place where the 2-car garage was also packed to the ceiling with office equipment and boxes and more boxes than I've ever lifted in my life. My body absolutely hurts. The removal of 2 of my best friends from my life for reasons of integrity, changes to my parenting plan and custody schedule, blah, blah, blah. Adding the recruiting element of my business, bringing on 20 or 30 people, beginning to train them and travel around the country, speaking to agents, trying to build an army of people to go destroy what the Joker brokers have done to this industry and make it better. All of that put together, and I went into a summer hibernation like a reverse bear. I don't know what happened. It's just difficult. Recording podcasts takes a lot of energy and passion and just oomph and chutzpah. And during those 10, 12, 16-hour days, in addition to all my family responsibilities, it was just hard to record podcasts. But I did get to interview a couple of fans of the show who, by the way, have both come on and joined the team and are currently becoming retirement renovators, which is awesome. I love them both. I did get to interview 2 fans of the podcast and thought I'd include my interview with them as the intro to this show. So take a listen as I interview Emily and Joshua. And by the way, Emily, the show saying what to do with small accounts and small amounts is not me picking on your size.
All right, man, I am sitting here with 2 fans of the show, which is just really, really cool. I didn't know I'd ever be meeting you guys. One from Spokane area, right?
Oh, Seattle.
Is it Seattle? Oh, it is
Yeah.
Seattle. And then one from Indiana, sort of hour and a half from Chicago. Why don't you guys tell everybody your names and how you found the show and why do you listen? What do you like about it?
This is Josh. Love the show. Listened to it for a long time now. Another colleague of mine actually introduced me to the show, and I'm like, the mission, it just blows my mind, and I'm like, I need to reach out, and so I did, and here I am.
And now you're
now I'm here.
Stayed in my house and in my car. You have been in the industry for how many years?
About 3 years now.
So you've heard of some of these strategies. You know, you're kind of familiar with the use of life insurance for tax freeze. What I want listeners to know, like, could someone go work for any company and learn, you know, exactly the same things I'm teaching on the show? Is this unique, or how easy is it to find material like this?
It is not easy at all to find material like this unless you're listening to your podcast. I've had a hard time finding a good training platform. Anything that can really hit the technical on just doing the right thing. So it's just been a lot of listening to your podcast and just trying to go from there.
That's awesome. Now, Emily, you've been in the industry, but sort of as a beginner for a while, right? Like sort of having a slow launch, right?
Yeah, absolutely. A very, very slow launch. I was in this network marketing company, and I was training to be a financial advisor. And I had some struggles on my own in the fact that I ended up up in a lot of debt. And so I was reaching out for sources to help me manage that. And I came across Josh on the internet talking about a plan that he had built for somebody, and I was really shocked. And a lot of people were giving him some haterade, some hate mail.
Haterade.
Yeah, they were drinking the haterade, and knowing what I had just studied, I was like, wow, what is that? I reached out to him, and he turned me on to Renovating Retirement podcast. And I just ran with it. I was on my way to being appointed with a couple of different companies for that network marketing company. And then I realized, oh my gosh, these people are shoving individuals and families into one of two policies that, albeit might be great for some people, might have some benefits that are good for people. Definitely not a one-size-fits-all situation. So, I'm here and I'm learning all about different products, and it's been a crazy, wild adventure. I'm ready now.
With all the stuff we've learned together, there's 1.1 million life insurance agents roughly in the United States. What percentage do you think are building policies properly, where it's like the best possible setup for the consumer?
Oh gosh.
1.1
Maybe
million.
1% of them are
Maybe
doing,
1%. Yeah, I've estimated less than 1.
I mean,
I'd say less than 1%, honestly. Honestly, less than 1%.
I've learned some things this weekend that I actually enlightened my eyes beyond the podcast, which I thought was great.
It's awesome.
But yeah, there's not a lot of people out there doing this, especially because it's a little bit less than profitable for doing it the wrong way. You do it the wrong way, you get paid more. But if you do it the right way, you got to have that discipline.
Exactly.
Yeah, and anybody who's thinking about maybe making the switch into this as a career option, the fact that people are making massive, insane amounts of money by building policies the wrong way, or not even building policies, they're just throwing people in like standard policies. If you build a policy the right way, even then, it's a profitable career. Even just doing it the right way, if you're not used to seeing those types of numbers, it's a really great option.
I've said that for years. Just do it the right way and get paid like a doctor or an attorney. Why do you have to go rip people off? I mean, sometimes it's not immorality. Sometimes it's ignorance. Actually, probably more than I thought when I started the show. And you guys are both great examples of having a kind of a pure and beautiful heart, but not having had the training. And I mean, it's awesome for you, Emily, because you haven't set up like 200 families the old way and then come back and go, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Right? You get to be kind of on track from day one, which is really, really cool.
Yeah, I'm so forever grateful for this opportunity, and just spending this weekend with y'all and learning everything we can. I think we all took away a good amount of learning from this weekend. So.
Yeah. And I wish I was in your shoes right now. Just starting here, I wish I started doing this. Knowing these plans.
Right.
Just being able to do the right thing from the get-go. But you got to learn as you go, and even now I'm still learning as I go. But
Yep.
I'm very confident that this is the best.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for being listeners and telling people. Keep telling your friends. And those of you who are listening to the podcast, you can do some real good out there. Tell your friends. And if I can help you in any way, get in touch. If you'd like to work with me on your retirement plan, get in touch. If you'd like to work with and for me in this career, we've had to open up a division to take care of all the training and advisors that are needed to go out there and change the retirement planning world, and kind of to build and to kind of spread the word and do this revolution that needs to happen. Hard to say, right? That
Yeah,
we need. We have had to.
We found a really awesome, simple way to put it, folks. Okay, you're just gonna have to get at me for your retirement needs.
Yeah, get at us for your retirement.
Get in touch. Info at L5Wealth Retirement. No, L5Wealth.com. Sucks. Info at L5Wealth.com. INFO at L the letter 5 the number wealth.com. Get at me for all your retirement needs. Yeah! Another one! We the best retirement!
Hello, people, listeners, friends, clients, co-workers, and awesome sauce individuals. It has been quite a while. I am coming at you today with episode, I believe it's 167, what to do with small amounts and small accounts. So one thing I've learned for sure over the years, and it's dumbfounded me a little bit, but I have to be compassionate
understanding, give some grace. I just have to understand that, I've been in my 30s and 40s as I've done this career. I've never actually been in the position of having worked really, really hard and had the discipline to save up hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars, whatever it is, and then to be at that age, late 50s or early 60s or whatever it is, to be at that age where it's kind of getting close to retirement, and someone like myself comes along and says, okay, I want you to sign some papers and actually transfer $400,000 to one company for the best product in the world, or transfer, $200,000 or $700,000 to an insurance company that's going to give you tax-free income. It's going to, transfer almost $1 million into a strategy that you've never heard of and people badmouth on the internet. I've never actually been in the receiving position of the type of advice that people that have my specialty, tax-free retirement planning, that people like that give. So I just have to have some compassion and some grace. It is hard to understand when someone's like, here's what I want. You say, here it is. They go, I don't know if I want that. I want to think about it. It's just a weird industry. But whether I agree with it or don't agree with it, I try to never fight reality. Reality is reality. What I do understand about the world and about retirees and about Americans is that money, moving money is hard. It is hard for people to move large chunks of money anywhere except the stock market. I don't know why. Stock market has higher fees, much more risk, but it's easy for people to just do that, but it's very hard to move it anywhere else. That being said, one of the things that people have in their lives, and a good way to just take some action, get doing something, right? Make some changes. Different isn't always better, but better is always different. The better life that you are looking for, or that exists for you, is going to be different in some way than what you're currently doing. So we want to make changes. We kind of constantly want to be looking for and evaluating the way we're living, the way we're running things in all areas of our lives, and then making positive improvements or making changes. Change is probably the only constant. The world is changing if you look around, right? So I want you to be able to do something and take action and make change. And one of the easiest ways to do that is with small accounts and small amounts. And what do I mean by that? You guys have probably heard me teach on chunks and streams. Chunks and streams is just my layman's terms or my street language or whatever for money that's already been saved up or money that you're currently saving. So if I meet somebody and they say, I left my job 5 years ago. I had $100,000 in the 401k. I transferred that to an IRA. So I have an IRA worth a little over $100,000. And on my new job, I'm contributing 10% of my income, and they're matching, 6%. Well, the chunk is the $100,000 sitting in the IRA. The streams is the 10% of their income they're already doing. Let's say their income is $100,000, so they're doing $10,000 a year. Another example of streams might be I'm overpaying my mortgage by $100 a month, or I'm currently paying into a whole life policy for $300 a month. That's a stream of money that can be evaluated. Should we continue to keep the whole life? Should we switch it to a better type of life insurance, or should we not use life insurance at all and use a different strategy? If I help somebody pay off credit cards or pay off a car loan or pay something off, refinance from a 15-year fixed mortgage to a 30-year fixed mortgage, freeing up monthly cash flow streams, right? That's all kind of streams language. Just meeting somebody saying, how much are you doing? You're doing $500 a month? How much can you afford to put towards retirement? Oh, I can do $1,000 a month. Okay. There's another 500. Those are streams, right? So the chunks are what have already been saved. Hey, Charlie, I've got $250,000 sitting in the bank from when my mom passed away. It's doing nothing. What should I do with it? That's a chunk of money. So small accounts and small amounts are so much easier for you, the listener, for you, the investor, right? The consumer, to do something with. And I want you to take action and move in the right direction. So I want you to be thinking about any small accounts that are kind of laying around doing nothing. Hey, I got $17,000 over here. Oh my goodness, there's $31,000 over there. Or I got $50,000 in the bank. I probably only need 20 for my urgency fund where I can go get it today. That means there's probably a chunk of about 30,000 that's not optimized, right? And optimizing your life is about the small things. That's why male swimmers shave their legs. I mean, come on. Getting the hair off your body is not going to make you go twice as fast in the race. It's about these tiny little increments of time where maybe you beat your competitor by a couple hundredths of a second, or however they measure in the world of swimming. I know in horse racing, it's like super close, right? They got to go back and look at slow motion video and everything to see who wins a horse race sometimes.
But yeah, small accounts and small amounts if you have something laying around. So what kind of chunks do we maybe have? Old 401ks from past jobs. By the way, if you move from one job to another, never, ever, ever roll your 401k into the new job. No. You always want to roll it to an IRA where you can make the decisions on what you want to use as opposed to being trapped inside of some sort of very limited 401k plan. So old 401ks, IRAs, Roth IRAs, 403bs, small stock accounts. I meet people all the time. They're like, yeah, I got this account with $17,000 in it that's all in like the stock of my old company or something like that. Previous annuities, if you've purchased any life insurance policies or annuities that have a cash value inside of them, we always want to evaluate those the way you evaluate mortgages as rates go up and down. Should I refinance or should I keep it? Annuities and life insurance are exactly the same. If you have an outdated life insurance policy or an outdated annuity from even 3 or 4 years ago or further back, the newer products are probably going to beat it, and you're allowed to refinance it and move it over on what's called a 1035 exchange. No taxes due at all. Like no negatives really in your life there. You just move it over to the better product. It's like a refinance, So don't just forget it. There's a lot of accounts or sort of money in people's lives that they just kind of forget about. By the way, we'll talk about this in a little bit, but even just subscriptions and things, $14 here, $11 there, $20 here per month, add up to sort of negative streams in your life. Canceling 3 or 4 of those, you could actually create a way to invest a small amount of money or a small stream of money, and small streams do show up. I mean, the ocean's made up of small streams to some degree, right? It's just that there's a lot of them leading to the right place. Streams become whatever. I don't know what the order is. Do you know what the order is, Bud? Let me ask one of my kids. Do you know what the order is? Is it like streams and creeks and rivers that go to the ocean? Or how do you go like small to bigger? Is it like creeks turn into streams, turn into rivers? Is that what it is? So maybe creeks, streams, rivers all go or turn into the ocean, right? So we want to get the small things right. So don't just forget it. Set it and forget it. And what do I mean by that? Forget it is like you have a bunch of stock from a previous company or an old annuity or something that's small and you're just like, whatever, it's not a big part of my life. Let's not do that. Let's set it and forget it. What do I mean by that? You can transfer these small accounts. I just looked at one for somebody that was, what was it? It was like $31,000 or $32,000 or something like that. And he's got time on his side. He's 35 right now. But when I put it into the illustration software for an annuity that has no fees, and that's what I mean by set it and forget it. If you just leave this money in an account with fees or an account that can go up and down and don't pay attention to it, you can spend 10, 20 years not even covering inflation and only to look back and realize, yeah, it wasn't a ton of money, but it should have doubled twice over those 20 years and it only grew by 5% or something like that. Set it and forget it. What do I mean by that? Set it where you're never going to have any losses ever again and there's never going to be any fees that come out of it. So I just ran a simple illustration from a company that has no fees, no losses. It's an indexed annuity, and then they do a guaranteed income rider that has raises. You get a raise to your guaranteed income every time your account makes any money, even after you've turned on the income. And, at retirement age, yeah, he's 35. He's got a lot of time. Still works if you're 50 or 60. That's fine. If you have more time, it cooks a little longer. At retirement, this $33,000 was kicking off in the beginning about $1,000 a month on the illustrated side. If it makes the type of interest that it has over the last 20, 30 years, there's no guarantees, blah, blah, blah. Don't choke on your fettuccine, guys. Poindexter. Compliance guys, push up your glasses with that index finger and tuck in those pencils into the pocket protector. It's all going to be okay. Take a deep breath, dude. No guarantees, but illustrated rates are important. They come from past performance, and we even have some rules and guidelines that make us show less than they've actually earned. But this tiny little account at retirement was starting at $12,000 a year. Well, $12,000 a year is an extra $1,000 a month. I don't know about you and how you live. I can tell you in my world, you throw an extra $1,000 a month at me that I wasn't expecting. I want to do some really fun things with my family. It's going to make a giant difference. Just pure discretionary income for $1,000 a month, I can get a lot of joyful experiences out of that with my family. And you can too, but more importantly, in some type of a tool that has increasing income potential, that thing was illustrated to go up to $2,000 a month, to go up to $3,000 a month long before he hit life expectancy. So any small accounts that are just kind of sitting around, let's set them up on no losses. Let's just not lose money anymore. And no fees. And, a no-cost income rider on there and just kind of see what happens. It's just another pension. It's another Social Security type of
tool where it's going to give you some of that income. And by the way, remember, you cannot know when you can retire. You can never know that you're done working if you leave your money in the stock market, because you never know what is safe to take out as an income percentage. And if you use what they tell you is safe, which is 2.8%, you can never save up enough money to replace your income. It would take you forever. You've got to get a 5, 6, or 7% payout using annuities or something like that. And you have to use a payout that you know is going to last for life, or you can actually never know it's safe to retire. So annuities become an incredibly important part, of part number 2 of how to run your finances. This is very simple. Guys, my message has always been the same, which is that the bad guys want to confuse you and make it complicated because that is what is best for them. This doesn't have to be complicated. Let's make it as simple as humanly possible. Imagine if CDs paid 10%. And you have some joker broker coming along going, well, yeah, over every 10-year period, the market's never gone down. And the 210-year average, even though we didn't have electricity and everybody kind of had horses and stuff like that, and they rode around on their butts instead of cars, just, let's go back there and see if some meaningful growth helps us. 210-year average of the market is blah-de, blah-de, blah, barf, barf. And they say you should put money inside of stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. And you're like, no, but the bank will just pay me 10%. So what's a retirement look like if the bank will pay you 10%? What's in case income increase? In case account, don't put everything in a CD because there's penalties. So you leave like 30, 40 grand sitting in savings account. What's your income account? It's the same as your increase account. Stick all the money in CDs. Take a 10% income. That's your growth and your income. Or take income off of some of it and let another piece of it grow at 10% and you don't take it out. That's the simplest financial plan you could ever possibly imagine. Well, that's too simple. It doesn't exist anymore. CDs don't pay 10%. They pay 2, 2.5 or 3 or whatever it is. So it has to be a little more complicated than that, but it doesn't have to be, there's 40,000 stocks and 8,600 mutual funds, and they all charge different fees, and they all kind of hide the fees because the SEC doesn't really care. And then the mutual funds that don't make any money, they change their name, so you don't know that they didn't make any money. And then Tony Robbins came along and did more research than Charlie was ever willing to do, and said that, of those 8,600 mutual funds, only 4% make money every year, so you have like a 96% chance of losing money. Would you ever get on an airplane if you had a 96% chance of crashing? I don't think you would. Would you ever eat at a diner if you had a 96% chance of getting food poisoning and choking and puking up your eggs in the bathroom? I don't think you'd eat there either. But you know what you will do with a 96% chance of losing money? You will go to the joker broker or your bank, or just try to do it on your own at Vanguard or something like that and just try to gamble. Nope. Doesn't need to be that complicated. Why would anybody even do that? Very simple. In case, income, increase. Well, yeah, but Charlie, which tools should I use for each of those areas? If I want like an in-case account, which tool should I use? I'm going to come along and say, why don't you just use the best one? Why don't we just compare, like banks to modified endowment contracts with a full waiver of surrender, to annuities with a waiver of surrender, to your mattress. Yeah, but with income accounts, that's cool. In-case accounts, I get it. But with an income account, do I use the same company that does my increase account, or what do I do? Why don't we just use the best? Why don't we just function like brokers have? And I don't mean joker brokers. I mean like mortgage broker, insurance broker. The term broker, not to mean someone who rips you off and plays golf, but a true broker, brokering multiple products, having access to everything, so they can work on your behalf instead of working for one company selling their crap. That's what we do. We have access to everything and work on your behalf. So what should you do for your income account? Which company strategy or investment should get the money that's creating an income for you for life? The best one. I mean, you couldn't get more simple than what my team does. It doesn't mean it's easy. Like any expert, I don't think working on cars is easy, but I think it's simple. You go in, find what's wrong, fix what's actually wrong. Don't lie to people about other things and tell them they're broken when they're not. Find what's wrong, fix what's wrong, get paid, and get referrals for doing what's right. Everybody wants a trusted mechanic. It's simple. Yes, we all have to be experts at our job, and I believe my team's better than anyone in the country. I believe we're giving the best retirement plan in the country, including beating people that used to work for me, where we're now crushing the crappy financial plans that they're offering. People that used to work for me that I trained, we're still beating their financial plans because it's about expertise. It's about continual improvement. It's about always studying the new products and never settling and getting locked into one. It's always studying. Just have the best in every area. What I'm saying in the world of income is that you cannot have the best income trying to live off of a stock, bond, and mutual fund account. And it's just silliness. So if you have some small accounts laying around, throw them into your future income bucket. Let's set them up, set them and forget them, where they're going to give you a guaranteed paycheck for life. And depending on when you retire or what the market does, that tells you how much your paycheck's going to be, really good or better, but it never goes backwards and there's no fees eating at that. So that's small chunks, okay? Old IRAs, old 401ks, Roths, extra money sitting in the bank, an inheritance that you know you're getting, a house that you just sold that you're getting, possibly even the home equity sitting inside of all the real estate you own, because equity should not be sitting inside of houses. It cannot earn any interest sitting inside of houses. You've shot your sheep in the head. It can't earn money if you, well, let's say it's not actually dead because you could still free it, but it's like locking all of the girl sheep, or what are they called? They're not lambs, that's a baby. I think it's sheep and rams, maybe. I don't know. I didn't do agriculture, so forgive me. If you took all the girl sheep or all the boy sheep and locked them in the barn with their same gender, kept them away from the other gender, you can't have any reproduction. It's the same. If you lock all your home equity sitting inside your house. I talked to somebody the other day. Their house is worth more than $1 million, and she owes about $456,000. Now, she's a super smart individual, so she got it right away. But I mean, you owe $456 on a house that's worth more than $1 million. You have over $500,000 of home equity accidentally sitting in a position where it can never earn compound interest ever again. And it truly is just an inheritance plan. You're just saying, leave it there and let it grow till I'm dead, and then pass it on to my heirs. It can't do anything for you while you're alive for long life, short life, rough life, or sick life. It's a next life strategy. Paying off your mortgage, leaving equity in your home, is you accidentally saying, I don't need to be efficient. I don't need all my money working for me. I have so much money that income is not a problem. I can pay for my medical expenses no matter what happens, including a nursing home. I can afford $8,000, $9,000 a month for 2, 3, 4 year periods. We're going to be fine. I don't need to think about this money at all. This is just for my heirs to make sure that they get rich. That's what leaving home equity inside of a home is. And people don't realize that until they go and listen to the 7 or 8 episodes on home equity planning, or go to watchcharlie.com and scroll down to the only one where I'm in a suit on YouTube. That's my YouTube channel, watchcharlie.com. Scroll down to the one where I'm in a suit teaching this to people in Utah. Or you can go to jewetwealth.com for free and get my books. Why not? The 2 Ways to Be Debt Free is about mortgage planning and why to never pay off a house. Anyway, what are small streams? Streams, what we're looking for with streams is either to create them and start saving them, or to redirect them from somewhere else. You can create streams by canceling things like subscriptions, cable or magazine subscriptions or software subscriptions you're not using. I think at one point I caught a company charging me for 4 accounts for like a calendar scheduling service, 4 different accounts at $15 a month, and I only need an account for me. So that's $45 a month going out the window. Is $45 a month a lot? No, but neither is a creek or a stream, but it ends up turning into an ocean, right? So all these the mastery is in the little things. Talk to somebody that does martial arts or sports on a high level. The mastery is in the little things, okay? So we want to save money or redirect money we're already spending. So the other thing about this is really important to me at this point in my life. Most Americans have not saved up $500,000. I realized doing this national podcast and then beginning to train agents on a large scale. I'm training about 20 agents right now, moving to thousands, 5,000, 10,000, 100,000, as many as I can train, because I truly want to change this industry and save American retirement. The one thing you'll notice is the large
majority of people are not disciplined and have already saved up a ton of money, and that's sort of where I cut my teeth. Hey, if you have a lot of money, let me show you what to do with it. I talked to somebody the other day. She said, I've got this credit card debt. I'm having trouble getting out of it. I've got my income. I don't live on like large commissions. I live on a base salary, so I can't really crank up my income or sort of hope for a big case. I got to, really grind to save. I have to not spend money, sacrifice, set money aside to pay off my debts, and I'm not getting ahead on retirement. And I just said very, very simply, I said, do they have Uber in your town? Do they have Uber Eats in your town? And she said, yeah. I said, do they have WAG where you can walk dogs for money? Yeah, they do. Do they have Airbnb? I know they do, where she lives. Yeah, they have Airbnb, All right, so you guys have WAG. You have Rover, R-O-V-E-R, so you can watch dogs or walk dogs. You've got Uber and Uber Eats, so you can deliver food or deliver people. You've got Lyft where you can deliver people. I said, go out, sign up for Uber, and go take a couple of people their dinner. Take a couple of people their lunch. I mean, it is easy. I want you to hear the emphasis. It is easy to make $25 a day with Uber, either delivering people or delivering food. I mean, you can do it almost without even noticing it. You can do it while you're running errands. You can do it while you are waiting for your child to get out of gymnastics, or for the hour and a half that they're at soccer practice. You can literally do it while you're out and about. Turn it on, turn it off, turn it on, turn it off. $50 a day, easy peasy. Guys, $25 a day is $750 a month extra. The implications of this are monumental. Whether you're already saving a lot of money, whether you're saving $18,000 a year in your 401k or $19,000 a year in your 401k, or saving nothing because you don't think you can afford it. An extra $750 a month or $9,000 a year. For the person saving $19,000 already, that's more than a 50% increase in your savings. For the person saving nothing, it's infinite. It's the difference between you being able to retire and not being able to retire. And we're talking about driving around for an hour or two, delivering food to people that are thankful and tip you. Nobody has an excuse not to be wealthy in this country. Nobody has an excuse not to be kicking butt in this country in current times, living well right now, and planning for a great, amazing retirement. When you have an app on your phone, you can turn it on and it says someone wants to pay you. Go to McDonald's, pick up their food, drive it to their house, give it to them, smile, they give you money. And you can do it anytime you want to, 24 hours a day, in between your appointments while you're out and about. Or my other favorite strategy for people is you get stuck an hour from your house and you have to commute. Turn on the destination ride on Uber or Lyft that says, I'm going back home. If there's anybody that wants to go that direction, pay me to take them that direction. You have no idea how much money you can make and how much difference you can make in retirement picking up an extra 20, 40, $50 a day, going places you're already going or slightly inconveniencing yourself. You go deliver a couple of meals and you get home a little bit later, it's like there was traffic. It's really no big deal. $750 a month or $9,000 a year at 6% for 15 years, that's an extra $215,000 sitting inside of your accounts. And that's only for 15 years. If you have 30 years to do it, wow. If you have 2 years to do it or you're in retirement, you're not saving it for the future. You're doing it for the income right then. You're creating the extra $750 a month for you. And guys, pick up your calculator, pretend you're 66, you're listening to what I'm saying, and you go, Charlie, I can't go make $25 extra a day and save it for 15 years and turn it into that $215,000. And I go, that's fine. No big deal. You're just creating $25 a day to add to your retirement, to have like a little part-time job type thing. And that's, what is that, $750 a month. All right, $750 a month. Watch this. $750 a month times 12. I'm doing it on my calculator right now. You're creating an extra $9,000 a year of income by just doing something very simple, very fun, very social, very easy, very flexible. Work anytime you want to, set your own hours, dress any way you want to. By the way, with Uber Eats, you can take your family with you. Hello. Date night, make money instead of spending money. Love it. $9,000 a year is as if, divide it by 0.05. $9,000 a year you're making extra divided by 0.05. I'm saying this income is as if I have a chunk of money kicking off a 5% guaranteed income for life. It's like I have an annuity, or it's like I have more retirement. Well, how much number is that? How big a number is that? $180,000. Picking up a small part-time job of driving your own car or walking dogs, for God's sakes, or watching dogs in your own home. I have 2 dogs. If somebody else drops off another couple dogs and I keep them for 2 or 3 days and get paid $50-$60 a day for feeding someone else's dog and letting them play with my dogs, guys, it's like a play date. Remember how easy play dates are? You bring your kid to someone else's house because the kids will actually play with each other, and you get a break. You get to talk to another adult human being for a while instead of living in kid world all day long, changing diapers and cleaning up snot. Dogs are even better than that. You just take it to another dog and they're like, party! And they just hang out with each other. You go to the bathroom every now and then, you pick that up, and you get paid $50-$60 a day. If you can make $50 a day extra in retirement, 180 times 2, that's like having an extra $360,000. Guys, what's easier? To save an extra $360,000 and then let it kick off an income? Or to deliver some hamburgers to people and watch a few dogs? Or take one of the bedrooms in your house and let somebody rent it from you at $50 to $100 a night? Guys, the sharing economy changes retirement planning completely. As far as streams are concerned, if you have them, you're overfunding your 401ks. You're overpaying for whole life insurance. You're doing a 15-year fixed mortgage. But anybody doing a 15-year fixed mortgage who's listening to this needs to get in touch with me right away, and we're going to switch that to a 30. It will revolutionize your retirement, completely change everything, make everything better in your life. Long life, short life, rough life, sick life, next life. 15-year fixed mortgage hurts every single part of retirement. Get in touch. info@l5wealth.com. info at l the letter 5 the number wealth the word.com. Whether you've already got the streams or we need to create the streams, which I'm happy to help you do. Let's dig into your budget. Let's look at how you're spending. Let's look at the opportunities you have. Let's look at the assets you have. A car, a house, an extra room, some time. By the way, folks, if you hate people, if you literally hate human beings, you're not going to put people in your car and drive for Uber. You're not going to put people in your house and rent a room on Airbnb. You might watch dogs or walk dogs. And by the way, there's lots of other sharing economies. You can get paid to cook for people and turn your home into like a little restaurant, even as an amateur. You can get paid to be people's friend. You can get paid to deliver packages on Roadie.com and Citizen Shipper and all kinds of things like that. But you also know on Turo, Turo, you can just have your car rented out. People rent your car, pay you about $5 an hour for using your car while you're at work or while you're away on a vacation or on a business trip. I mean, wouldn't that make more sense if you're out of town for 4 days instead of your car sitting at the airport, that someone else is using your car and paying you $20, $30, $40 a day for the use of your car? Hello, it's time to get efficient, and you can have an amazing life doing that. Now, let me teach an advanced strategy, because $20 a day straight or $25 a day straight means you're just getting $25 a day and investing it somewhere, sticking into investments or living off of it. What else can be done? And I have taught this to you guys. It's one of the foundational principles in the world of financial planning or retirement planning, or at least in my world, which is anytime you can leverage the money. Anytime you can leverage the money, safely leverage the money, I should say. So what if that $25 a day, let's talk about the person who's going to put it away. 6% a year for 15 years. They're going to invest $25 a day or $750 a month. They're going to try to turn it into $215,000. What if instead of slow paying that investment, instead of putting away $750 a month for 15 years, what if you use the $750 a month to rent a big giant chunk of money up front? What if you got a mortgage? What if you took equity out of your home? What if you did a refinance? What if you could borrow money cheaply somewhere else from one of your life insurance policies or whatever? What if you rented a chunk of money at $750 a month? Well, how much can you get? At 4.5%, which is high right now. I mean, it's not high historically, but it's high for mortgage rates right now. At 4.5%, you can rent $148,000. So with today's rates, you can probably get $150 to $200,000 for $750 a month. So let's say you did. You pulled out $148,000 a month chunk of money where you have all of it up front. You're still paying $750 a month. You're just paying it to rent a chunk of money instead of slow paying it. Why is this an issue? Because when you slow pay, you put in $750 and you only have $750 to earn interest. By next month, you've got, what is that, $1,500. There's only $1,500 earning interest. When you rent a chunk of money and put $148,000 in, you have $148,000 earning interest right away. It's always better to rent a giant chunk of money than to use your own slow pay, small amounts over time. It's one of the foundational principles. Always lump sum chunk up front is always better than slow pay. Well, if you have $148,000 up front, and that grows at 6% over the same 15 years, so instead of slow paying $750 a month for 15 years, you rent $148,000 for 15 years and pay it at $750 a month. If you do it that way, instead of ending up with $215,000, you end up with $345,000. Guys, always look for ways to rent chunks of money and use the streams of money in your life to pay for them while the whole chunk works for you. If you really wanted me to blow your mind, simultaneously upset you and excite you. So at the same time, you're feeling excited and you're going, Charlie, you're amazing, I love you, and you're going, oh my gosh, I cannot believe what I've been doing to myself. If you really want that strange sweet and sour combination of happy and sad, emphasizing on the happy and moving in a positive direction, let's dig into your budget together on a phone call. Let's dig into your budget and find wasted money and then say how much of a chunk could that wasted money have been renting, or can it rent in the future, and what would that do for me? Because you're going to find that some of your magazine subscriptions, some of your overpaying of taxes, some of your using 15-year fixed mortgages, some of your insurance policies you don't need or they're the wrong type, you're being overcharged for them, some of your overfunding of your 401ks, really when you add it up, could rent $100,000, $200,000, $500,000, $1 million chunk that would go to bat for you and go to work for you and completely change your retirement. We need to add efficiencies. We need to be smart and add efficiencies. Get in touch if you want to do a budget review. info@l5wealth.com, info at l the letter 5 the number wealth the word.com. You and I will talk on the phone. It'll be fun. It's a party. It's awesome sauce, and we're going to fix everything. Well, not everything. I don't know. If you have cancer, I probably can't fix that, at least not yet. I'm working on it. But money wise, hey. Now, younger pre-retirees that are in the accumulation phase, we're going to be more focused on growing, right? If you're making an extra 25 to 50 bucks a day, or you've got chunks sitting around, we're going to say, let's move those and stick them somewhere, the chunks and streams. Let's put them somewhere where they don't go backwards, they don't have a lot of fees, and they compound and hopefully create tax-free income, right? If you're older, you're closer to retirement, or you're in retirement, so you're an older pre-retiree, or you're already retired and you're in that distribution phase of life, so you're living off of your nest egg instead of accumulating it, we're going to be using chunks of money as part of your income plan. You know, where should you take income from this year? So you've got some Social Security you could turn on, you've got some money sitting in the bank, you got these little 401k and IRA accounts sitting around, or maybe a big IRA, then you've got this big life insurance policy that somebody had, whatever it is, you got money laying all over the place. You go, well, I need an income. Where do I go for it? That's the magic. That's the secret sauce. That is the art of distribution planning or income planning that I fell in love with 14 years ago. Which do we do first, and what order do we go in to maximize the income and minimize the taxes? Yes, it's awesome. And there is an answer of what you should do. It's mathematical. Live off the money that's not earning a lot of interest, or that doesn't have increased guaranteed income. Let the things that are earning a lot of interest and have huge raises every year. If you have an annuity that goes up 9 or 10% on your guaranteed income, so this year you can make $10,000 a year, next year it's going to be $11,000 a year, it's a 10% raise. That's the one we postpone and we live off the cash. Or we live off the money making 3 or 4% in bonds or whatever it is. It's genius, guys. If you're a pre-retiree who's older, closer to retirement, or you're already in retirement, this extra money is like having a giant chunk of money, man. You can make an extra $750 a month, or $50 a day, guys. It's $1,500 a month. Most of the people I know, an extra $1,500 a month would change their lives dramatically. I hope you hear the message today, guys. You've either got money laying around that's not optimized. It's in small accounts, or it's in small amounts that you can either afford to save and you aren't, or you're overspending,
or you're paying on memberships you don't need or on taxes you don't need, whatever it is, chunks and streams. Let's go and get those. It's easy to move those. It's not easy to move the only $750,000 you've ever saved up, from the stock market to some insurance company you've never heard of. I've seen that. Doesn't matter whether you should or shouldn't do it. You should probably, but it's hard for people. Let's at least get some traction and some action and move the small stuff and get the chunks and streams that you won't even notice. You won't even feel it. Let's get those optimized as a step in the right direction. And if you don't have enough money or you just want to accelerate your retirement or make life better in retirement, let's get you working some sort of a side hustle, guys. Side hustles are awesome. You can drive, you can offer hospitality, you can cook, you can rent your car out, you can work, for heaven's sakes. Wait, what, Charlie? Part-time job? Yeah, you can get a part-time job. Just get a part-time job that you love. People, you're hearing the passion in my voice because for years, decades really for me, I haven't really been able to help the people that didn't save up enough money. It was like, well, find the 5% of people that actually saved up a lot of money and hope that they have the courage to go against the grain, not listen to their joker broker, and do what everybody says not to do. And that's a pretty frustrating, difficult way to live. It's a small market of people that have a really hard time making a change. And now I have this new horizons that have opened up for me, new opportunities, which is no. Go to the 95% of people who've struggled and show them how to make an extra $25, $50 a day, $100 a day, $200 a day. There was a time my cash flow was tight, and I went out and said I will not come home till I've made $200 every day on my side hustle because I needed to bridge a short-term cash flow gap. And what I learned during that time is saying I will not come back home. And by the way, does that remind you of anything? What did men and women used to do when we lived in the woods, living off the land? And your family needed to eat. You go out hunting or picking, harvesting. Are you going to come home and go, I tried for 3 or 4 hours. It was kind of hot. The sun was out. There's some bees. And I couldn't find anything. So I'm just going to sit around here and pick my nose, and you guys can starve. Hey, honey, come here. Hold my hand. Let's watch our kids starve to death. That's not how it works. You get out there. You stay out until you found that rabbit and you killed it, till you found that deer and shot it. You stay out until you bring that meat home, or you go picking, harvesting, walking, and you come home with bloody hands because you've been picking in those bushes and you have enough berries to feed your family. Finally, our world has caught up to what it used to be. There's actually enough side hustles now where you can go out there and say, I am not coming home until I have what my family or my retirement plan needs today. And you set that yourself, $50, $25, $75, $100, or set it at $200 a day like I did. And you go, I'm not coming home till I get it because I don't quit and all I do is win no matter what. Guys, get in touch. info@l5wealth.com. info at L, the letter 5, the number wealth, the word.com. You people are the best. And I'm glad to be back after my hibernation. Hee hee.
Renovating retirement with Charlie Judith.
But that's all, folks.